places and fearful events and great signs from heaven. Okay. Israel being the center of all of it. Now, let's go back to Genesis. Genesis is the biblical account of creation. Genesis tells us that God created planet Earth and mankind. Planet Earth did not come by some accidental Big Bang. You and I are not the genetic descendants of monkeys. We're not here by random evolutionary chance like some great Las Vegas casino where they roll the genetic dice and the genetic code just happened to line up and mankind was produced. That is complete and utter nonsense. Take a good look at yourself in the mirror. You are an intricate machine. It is obvious that you were designed. There's no way, just looking at your body and your mind, that you could be an accident of creation or the random result of billions of years of the oceans sweeping up on the sandy shores of Maui and eventually forming a human being. That would be the equivalent of walking on the beaches of Maui and seeing a personal computer lying in the sand and walking up to the personal computer and looking at it and saying, gee, that personal computer must have been built over 1 billion years randomly of the water washing up the sand, and eventually, as 1 billion years passed, the water and the sand sculpted it into this perfect electronic computerized marvel. How ridiculous would that be? That's insanity, right? That's total insanity, but that's what they're teaching you about how your origins. Now, here's the dirty little secret. There's lots of dirty little secrets. In the theory of evolution, and it is a theory because there's no proof that it's true, none whatsoever. That's why they're looking for a substitute theory. The substitute theory is going to be that planet Earth was seeded by an alien race. You may think that it's science fiction and far-fetched, but look, Darwin's theory is bankrupt. They need a replacement theory. The replacement theory is going to be the aliens came billions of years ago, and Adam and Eve were the product of some kind of alien thing, genetics, okay? Now, here's the thing. The theory of evolution has a hidden agenda in it. If mankind evolved, then by necessity, there's an implication that listen carefully, that certain races must be more evolved than others. If evolution is true, do the math with me. If evolution is true, which it's not, the hidden message behind evolution is that certain races would have to be more evolved than other races because everything's evolving. So somebody's got to be at the lower end and somebody's got to be at the higher end. Do we understand that? That's the hidden message in evolution. Now, you and your children are being brainwashed, and that fact of evolutionary theory is being hidden from you. But the people who created and promoted the theory of evolution from its beginning were fully aware of the hidden message in evolution. And therefore, at the same time or shortly after the theory of evolution began to be promoted, the Rockefeller Foundation in like 1914 began to promote the science of eugenics. Are you videoing me or what? For what?
No, that's just your clock.
Oh, thank you. What time is it?
11 minutes ago.
Thank you. So the Rockefeller Foundation was fully aware of a master race, okay, and an inferior race. It's very important that you understand that. because that's the hidden message of evolution. And the science of eugenics was promoted at the universities and scientific institutes all across America, funded by Rockefeller, the same money that funds globalism and the one world government, the Council on Foreign Relations. Margaret Sanger, who was funded by Rockefeller, and she's the founder of Planned Parenthood, and she openly said, and I'm paraphrasing, she had disgust for what she perceived to be the inferior races, which in her words, again I'm paraphrasing, would be what she thought were the minority races like African Americans and Hispanics, etc. She perceived them to be the inferior races. That's why at the very beginning of Planned Parenthood, the majority of the abortion clinics were placed in minority neighborhoods. What do you call that? That's called genocide. That was before Hitler began his eugenics experiment, because what was Hitler talking about? He was talking about the creation of a master race. Nietzsche, the philosopher, talked about the Übermensch, the Superman, the creation of a master race, a superior race. Hitler was deeply involved in the occult, and the spirit guides of the occult, which are behind many of these groups today, like Madame Blavatsky, and I go through all of it in my DVD series, Are You Ready? The three DVD series. I talk all about it and show the pictures of the people, etc. And in the pre-order of Moon into Blood and some of the other stuff. Now, why is it, and I said this on the air in Los Angeles many times, I addressed the African American community. And I said this, I said, you know, if you really love somebody, you tell them the truth and you set them free. I said, why is it that African American pastors are silent about the purpose of abortion clinics? That's genocide against their own race. Why are they silent? The response was silence. Look, the white man may do a lot of bad things to you, but your own people are lining you up to be exterminated. Same with the Hispanic race and certain segments of the white race. Hitler simply carried out the science of eugenics and Rockefeller's scientific belief system. He simply implemented it on a mass scale. Did you know that he started by sterilizing and killing those who were mentally ill, had schizophrenia and genetic deformities? Do you know that's how he started out? And then he moved into exterminating eventually the Jews, but the goal was to create a master race. That philosophy, Christians need to understand, need to know what's going on, is still alive and well within a particular very large globalist organization that you all know the name of. That agenda is full speed ahead. That's why Jesus was telling his church about ethnos and nation against nation. Because see, Jesus and God are far more intelligent than we are. So he gives us lots of information, but we're only able to assimilate that information at a certain period in time. Now, we are right in the middle of a scientific revolution. And that revolution, and you notice how many pastors are silent on this? By the way, I had the privilege of ministering to the Hispanic church on the way the last couple of weeks. 13,000 people go there. My good friend Jim Toll invited me to minister there. And the reason I ministered there is because the Hispanic people are very hungry for God, because that's all they have. I'm not here to comment on the legalities and all the rest of that stuff. I've commented on that before. But you know what the Lord said to me? And I have a track record of appearing on Fox News Network and others debating in substance, economics, and everything else related to this issue. Okay, so I'm not like some airhead from Orange County. Oh, sorry, my friends in Orange County. I didn't mean you guys. I'm talking about certain guys down there. And you know who I'm talking about. Where was I?
Spanish people.
Oh, okay. So I was watching the massive influx of Hispanics here in the Van Nuys area in LA, and at first I'm saying, Lord, this nation is being flooded. And it wasn't a racial thing. It wasn't like I dislike Hispanic people. I'm just saying, how are we economically going to be able to sustain ourselves with the tremendous influx of people? And the Lord spoke to me, and this is what he said. It wasn't an audible voice, but it was a commission. The Lord said to me, he said, Paul, it is what it is, okay? Your complaining isn't going to help solve anything, okay? Your complaining is not going to solve anything. If you do not reach these people, I don't like to use the word these people, but for lack of better words, I'm going to use these people, even though that could be a racially charged word. It's not intended on my part to be a racially charged word. But if you don't reach the Hispanic people, the Lord told me, with the love of Jesus Christ, he said the communists and the Muslims will. And your nation's gone. He said, this is a people group that are hungry for God. It's not because they're better than anybody else. Just as a people group, the Hispanic people, as a people group, are extremely hungry for God. You know why? Because they have need, and people who have need are open to God. Now, when they're here several generations and they become Americanized, they may not be hungry for God. They'll become like the white people who think they have it all together while the ship's going down. So the Hispanic community is a fertile environment for revival. So the Lord said, you need to reach out to the Hispanic community with the gospel of Jesus Christ and spread revival. That's the best thing you can do, Paul. So that's why I take advantage and look for opportunities to do that. And I was used by the Lord as an agent of revival, and it is my prayer that that revival spreads among the Hispanic community. Because I'm going to tell you something. The white community, of which I'm part of, is very hard-hearted towards the gospel of Jesus Christ. I mean, many of you are white and you love Jesus, but think about all your friends that are white. Do they want to hear about Jesus? No. They think they have everything together. No, they don't. Look at their 401ks and real estate value. They need Jesus more than they know. So it's a great opportunity for revival, and I believe a strategic opportunity for revival. And that's what will save our nation. Somebody asked me the question, how will God protect his people in the time we're in? Well, let me answer it this way. What time do we have?
2.5 minutes.
Let's stop this tape here and we'll go to segment number 2.